I'm like, it doesn't really matter to me. I don't really care.
In her eyes, something's off.
She looked like a soldier.
Something's off with her.
No, it's good.
What?
Joel, I think I found something.
Whoa!
What?
Oh, nothing. It's just your forehead seems bigger than last season.
The Last of Us Season 2 is out. Episode 4 is the latest, and it is bombing.
We made a deal to tell this story, and we're telling this story.
The Last of Us was plagued by complaints of bad casting.
Joe Rogan just dropped the biggest bombshell of his podcasting career, and Hollywood is absolutely losing their minds over it. What started as a casual conversation about streaming shows turned into a full-blown roast session that had his entire studio in tears from laughter. When news broke that Bella Ramsey was pushing for pronoun-focused dialogue to be woven throughout The Last of Us Season 3, Rogan's reaction was immediate and brutal. The podcasting king didn't hold back, tearing apart what he called the dumbest idea in television history, while millions of viewers watched the entertainment industry's latest meltdown unfold in real time. Within hours, clips of his rant were spreading across every platform, with fans calling it the most savage takedown they'd ever witnessed. But what Rogan said next would send shockwaves through HBO's executive offices and potentially end Bella's career forever. The gloves were off, and Hollywood's biggest names were about to learn what happens when you mess with one of the most beloved franchises in entertainment history. This wasn't just another celebrity feud. This was a cultural war that would divide the entire industry. Behind closed doors at HBO, sources revealed that Bella Ramsey had been pushing an agenda that would fundamentally change The Last of Us forever. According to leaked reports from multiple industry insiders, Bella approached the writing team with what she called essential dialogue updates that would incorporate pronoun discussions into the zombie apocalypse storyline. The proposed scenes would feature characters stopping mid-survival situation to discuss gender identity and preferred pronouns, completely breaking the immersive tension that made the show legendary. Writers reportedly sat in stunned silence as Bella explained how these moments would reflect modern values and make the show more inclusive for contemporary audiences. But the creative team knew this wasn't about inclusion. It was about Bella using the platform to push personal politics into a story that millions of fans held sacred. The leaked emails revealed heated exchanges between Bella and showrunners, with one executive writing, "This isn't what audiences signed up for when they fell in love with Joel and Ellie's story."
I'm sorry. That was acting. That's what that was.
Industry veterans who had worked on the original game adaptation were horrified, with one developer stating, "She's trying to turn a masterpiece into a social media statement." The demand wasn't just tone-deaf, it was creative suicide that would destroy everything fans loved about the franchise. Long before the Season 3 controversy erupted, fans had already noticed something was terribly wrong with Bella's portrayal of Ellie in the second season. Viewership numbers told the brutal story. Season 2's finale drew over 50% fewer viewers than Season 1's explosive ending, and critics were starting to whisper about the show's declining quality. Bella's version of the older Ellie felt mechanical, detached, and completely disconnected from the character that audiences had fallen in love with during the first season. Instead of the sharp, witty, emotionally complex survivor from the games, viewers got a cold, lecture-prone character who seemed more interested in making statements than surviving the apocalypse. Fan forums exploded with complaints about awkward dialogue that felt shoehorned into dramatic moments, breaking the immersion that made the original story so compelling. One particularly cringeworthy scene midway through Season 2 became the poster child for everything wrong with Bella's creative influence, featuring dialogue that felt ripped straight from Twitter rather than a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Entertainment journalists who had initially praised Bella's casting began publishing articles questioning whether she understood the character at all. Even Pedro Pascal, the show's breakout star, seemed to distance himself from promotional events, leading to speculation about behind-the-scenes tension that was tearing the production apart. When Joe Rogan got wind of Bella's Season 3 demands, his reaction was absolutely explosive and completely unfiltered. "Let me get this straight," Rogan said, barely containing his laughter. "You've got zombies chasing people, the world has ended, everyone's fighting for their lives, and you want to stop everything for a pronoun check?" The entire studio erupted as Rogan continued his savage breakdown of what he called the most tone-deaf idea in entertainment history. He didn't just mock the concept, he systematically destroyed the logic behind it, pointing out how it would completely shatter the show's carefully built tension and realism.
I'm sorry. That was acting. That's what that was.
Rogan compared it to a chef walking into a steakhouse and demanding the restaurant go vegan, explaining how actors who try to hijack established stories always end up destroying what made them special in the first place. His impression of a zombie apocalypse survivor asking about pronouns had his guest in tears. But Rogan wasn't finished. He went on to explain how Hollywood had completely lost touch with audiences, prioritizing personal agendas over storytelling that actually connects with viewers. The rant wasn't just funny. It was a surgical dissection of everything wrong with modern entertainment, delivered with Rogan's signature brutal honesty that had made him the most trusted voice in podcasting. If you're enjoying this breakdown of Hollywood's biggest meltdowns and want to stay ahead of the drama before it hits mainstream media, smash that like button and subscribe. We dive deep into the controversies everyone else is afraid to touch. Within hours of Rogan's podcast dropping, the internet absolutely lost its mind, and Bella Ramsey became the target of the most savage meme campaign in recent memory. TikTok was flooded with fan edits overlaying Rogan's jokes with scenes from The Last of Us, creating viral content that racked up millions of views overnight. Twitter exploded with threads celebrating Rogan for saying what everyone was thinking, while fan accounts shared clips of his rant with captions like "Joe just saved Ellie, and finally someone said it." The hashtag Rogan versus Bella started trending worldwide as fans created increasingly hilarious memes about zombie apocalypse pronoun etiquette. YouTube compilation videos featuring Rogan's best moments from the rant hit millions of views, with comment sections filled with fans thanking him for defending their beloved franchise. Even gaming communities that rarely engage with Hollywood drama were sharing clips and expressing relief that someone with Rogan's platform had called out what they saw as the destruction of their favorite story.
I don't really care what happens with this movie. I really hope her career is pretty much over. I'd be thrilled to see that. I can't imagine. I mean, Christian, you tell me.
Fan art depicting Rogan as a zombie apocalypse survivor saving Ellie from bad dialogue started circulating, while parody videos imagining pronoun discussions during clicker attacks went viral across every platform. The cultural moment had crystallized into something bigger than just entertainment criticism. It became a symbol of audiences fighting back against forced messaging that destroys the stories they love. As Rogan's criticism gained momentum, entertainment industry insiders who had remained silent finally found their voice, and the revelations were absolutely devastating for Bella's reputation. Former writers from The Last of Us adaptation leaked details about Bella's combative relationship with the creative team, describing meetings where she would argue with veteran writers about character development and story direction. One anonymous HBO insider told reporters that Bella stopped being collaborative and started being demanding, explaining how her creative input became a growing concern during early Season 3 script meetings. Game developers who had consulted on the show's early seasons revealed their frustration with how their source material was being twisted to fit what they called Bella's personal brand. The most damaging leak came from a former script consultant who claimed that multiple writers were uncomfortable with how the story was being reshaped, and that some had requested their names be removed from Season 2 credits out of disappointment. Industry veterans who had worked on successful game adaptations spoke out about the dangerous precedent of letting actors rewrite established stories, with one former executive stating, "We were losing Joel and Ellie and gaining something that didn't resemble the world we were building." The pile-on wasn't just about creative differences. It revealed a pattern of ego-driven decisions that had alienated the very people responsible for bringing the beloved game to television.
Like most people, I liked the first season. I thought they did a great job. Season 2, I was skeptical on them not recasting Ellie and keeping Bella Ramsey as Ellie because it's supposed to take place 5 years into the future, but obviously Bella Ramsey in real life was not going to age that much.
The aftermath of Rogan's takedown and the industry backlash created a career catastrophe that Bella Ramsey couldn't escape, with consequences that rippled through every aspect of her professional life. Entertainment media outlets that had once celebrated her as a trailblazer suddenly went quiet, with several publications pulling planned features and interviews without explanation. Brand partnerships that had been in negotiation were quietly canceled, while talent agencies began distancing themselves from the controversy that had made Bella radioactive in Hollywood circles. Major panels and spotlight interviews that had been scheduled months in advance were mysteriously canceled, with event organizers citing scheduling conflicts that fooled no one in the industry. Her social media engagement plummeted as fan accounts that had once supported her interpretation of Ellie began disappearing overnight, replaced by comment sections filled with criticism and disappointment. Even her co-stars started avoiding mention of The Last of Us altogether, with Pedro Pascal focusing exclusively on other projects during promotional appearances. Publicists throughout Hollywood began advising their clients to avoid getting caught in what industry insiders were calling the Bella Storm, treating her like career poison that could damage anyone associated with the controversy. The transformation from rising star to industry pariah happened with stunning speed, proving that audiences still held the ultimate power to make or break careers when actors forgot their place in the storytelling process. The financial and creative damage from the Bella controversy finally forced HBO executives to make the brutal decision that would officially end The Last of Us as fans knew it.
For some reason, they made the decision for The Last of Us Season 2 to make Ellie dumb, to the point where she even says that she's stupid. Why? That just kind of betrays the character.
Internal sources revealed that Season 3 production had quietly stalled months earlier, with network executives growing increasingly concerned about the direction Bella was pushing the show. The leaked decision came after HBO conducted focus group testing that showed devastating audience rejection of the proposed pronoun-focused storylines, with test viewers describing the concepts as franchise-killing and completely tone-deaf. Financial analysts within the network calculated that continuing with Bella's creative vision would likely result in subscription cancellations that could cost HBO tens of millions in revenue. The final straw came when merchandise sales for Season 2 showed massive declines compared to the first season, proving that fan dissatisfaction wasn't just vocal, it was economic. Behind closed doors, HBO executives admitted that they had made a critical error in allowing an actor to gain so much creative control over an established franchise, with one source stating that the tail was wagging the dog. The cancellation wasn't announced with fanfare. Instead, HBO quietly removed all mentions of Season 3 from their promotional schedules and began reassigning the production team to other projects. Industry analysts called it one of the most expensive creative mistakes in streaming history, with the network essentially writing off millions in development costs to avoid the greater disaster of continuing with a compromised vision. Joe Rogan's savage takedown didn't just destroy Bella's career, it sparked a wider conversation about actor overreach that spread throughout the entertainment industry like wildfire. Other podcasters and content creators began sharing their own stories about actors who had tried to hijack established franchises, creating a domino effect of criticism that exposed similar problems across Hollywood. Gaming communities that had watched other beloved properties get butchered by actor ego started using Rogan's criticism as a template for their own complaints about franchise destruction.
Have you changed up your impression at all, or is it pretty much the same?
Well, the noise is the same. I've not got any more noises in my back pocket. The new infected are pretty terrifying. They're so smart, and they haven't really got a noise. That's the whole point of them. They're silent and terrifying.
Ooh, give us a little silent and terrifying.
Entertainment journalists who had been afraid to criticize Bella's performance finally found the courage to publish honest reviews, with several major outlets running retrospective pieces about the warning signs they had ignored. The Rogan effect became shorthand for audiences fighting back against forced messaging that destroyed beloved stories, with fans using his quotes to criticize other actors who tried to reshape established characters. Industry executives started privately acknowledging that Rogan had exposed a growing problem in Hollywood, where actors were being given too much creative control over properties they didn't understand or respect. The cultural moment transcended just one show or one actor, becoming a larger conversation about protecting storytelling integrity from personal agendas that prioritize messaging over audience satisfaction. Even actors in other franchises began distancing themselves from similar controversies, afraid of becoming the next target of what fans were calling the Rogan treatment. Months after Rogan's explosive takedown, the entertainment landscape had permanently shifted, and Bella Ramsey found herself at the center of a cautionary tale that would haunt Hollywood for years to come. The Last of Us franchise, once considered one of the most successful game adaptations in television history, became a case study in how actor ego could destroy even the most beloved properties. Bella's attempts to rehabilitate her image through carefully crafted social media posts fell flat, with audiences no longer interested in redemption arcs from actors who had betrayed their trust. Industry insiders revealed that other productions were now implementing Bella clauses in actor contracts, specifically limiting creative input to prevent similar disasters from occurring on their projects. The financial losses from the canceled Season 3 and declining Season 2 performance created a ripple effect throughout HBO, leading to increased scrutiny of actor involvement in creative decisions across all their productions. Gaming communities held up the controversy as proof that Hollywood still didn't understand their medium, while fans of the original games felt vindicated in their early criticism of Bella's casting and performance. Joe Rogan's role in exposing the controversy elevated his status as a cultural truth teller, with audiences increasingly looking to independent voices to call out industry problems that mainstream media wouldn't touch. The lasting lesson wasn't just about one actor's career implosion. It became a powerful reminder that audiences still held the ultimate power to reject content that prioritized personal agendas over the stories they loved, proving that even the biggest entertainment corporations couldn't force viewers to accept creative decisions that betrayed their favorite franchises.